everyone, welcome back to Razz TV, and in this episode I am going to talk about the continuation of our career series where we are talking about how we can have a great career experience, how can we have fun at work, and how can we deal with some difficult situations we will run into at workplace. This episode I am going to talk about bad boss. What are some scenarios of a bad boss that you would run into and how you can handle it? That's the most important piece. Ever feel like you hate your job? Do you ever feel like, why am I doing this job? Or you feel like you are not being valued? Or do you feel like your effort is going unrecognized? Or do you even feel like there is no more growth for you? I am a boss myself. I have been a boss for many years, and also I have been an employee where I had some great bosses, loved them all. Also I had some bosses whom were not so great, but I had to learn a lot from them, and my experiences are always because of the challenging situations I had to face. So if you are having a smooth ride, you have a great boss, congratulations, you can watch the next video. But if you have someone who feel like your boss needs to hear you more, you need a good caring boss, then make sure you listen to this video, because it's not about the boss that is bad, really. It's about what is going on in your company at this time, what is that is driving your boss to be that bad, and what are the scenarios that you will run into it and how you can handle them properly and turn the table around. Talk about 3 kinds of scenarios of a bad boss and how you can handle them properly. So the first one is a micromanager. Okay, so the sign that you know that your boss is a micromanager is he or she will tell you the first thing they meet with you, they will tell you that they are not a micromanager. That's a red flag that chances are this person is a micromanager. So it is a lot of the times it's the personality of the person that they are so much like to be in control of things. They want to know everything in and out of things that go about, and sometimes it's a lack of trust. Sometimes it is the pressure they have on them. Maybe their boss is a micromanager and they need to know every single detail from you every single second. So they are on top of you. So there's many reasons why a manager could be a micromanager. So what you can do about it is what matters to you. Don't worry about judging that person. Don't worry about complaining, because that's not going to solve the problem. Instead, if your manager happens to be a micromanager, I would say the first thing you want to do is meet with them and create an outline that clearly calls out your job responsibilities and your day-to-day tasks that you will be doing, and how the communication should work between both of you. So when you do this, it kind of clarifies to your manager what your job duties are. If they are new to your team and they are a micromanager, so chances are they don't know how to ask you, hey, what's your job duties, right? Or maybe even if they know what, they may be thinking that you should be doing 5 things or 100 things, but in reality your job probably only is supposed to be doing those 2 or 3 things that you are signed up for. So having that conversation is very important. Create an outline of your role, call out the responsibilities, and then talk about how your boss wants to be communicated. If she or he wants to know from you every day your updates, ask them about why. Is there a reason that they are looking for those updates? And tell them tell them about your experience and how you handle things, and that they can trust you to do your work properly, and that you would like to give them a weekly update instead of a daily update or an hourly update. And if that doesn't work for them, try to understand why they need that, right? So when you understand their pain point, it's easier for you to meet their needs as well, and they'll be off your back if that's a genuine good leader. Now chances are sometimes they are not great leaders, they are just micromanagers, they lack trust in everybody. So that's not on you, it's on them. In that case, you want to talk about, do you want to hang on to this kind of a manager for long term, or is it is it a matter of just giving them what they need and you move on with your life but no hard feelings? So the next kind of a boss is someone who basically lacks empathy. So this is a boss who is very task oriented. All they come to work is to get done about their work, talk about their work and be done with it and move on. So there's no personal side to this person. A lot of the times when managers, especially they grow into bigger roles, they kind of lose that people side of it. And especially right now, there's a lot of disruption happening in pretty much every company. So it is very, very stressful to the managers as well to be in that role, and they are constantly expected to deliver a lot of value for the role they are playing, which means they are constantly focusing on the results, but they are somehow passively losing that people side of it. So there are many managers out there right now. Either they got promoted because they were they were good enough in their current role but never had people management skills. They just got promoted because they were in the right place at the right time, or whatever that reason is. Some managers do not have people skills. They do not have an empathy side to them. So in this case, you may be feeling like you are working with a robot basically, because this person will ask you about the work that you're doing. All they want to know about is your work, clock in, clock out, and done. There's no other things. Chances are, again, this person lacks this empathy side, but when you kind of coach them or encourage them to know more about, these people quickly turn around and they do a great job. A lot of the times, again, if this person is a great leader, they will learn, they will try to do everything possible to make you happy. So at least my ask of you would be to try and see if it works. And when it doesn't work is when you need to see what you can do about it. But in the case of a no empathy boss, the way you would approach is try to meet and express your interest, to partner with them, to offer them to going out for a coffee or a lunch, to know more about your interests, know about of his or her interests. So you know a little more about them, they know a little more about you. So you take the initiative to share some details. So hopefully that conversation goes well, and things will slowly improve. It won't be a switch, it won't be dramatic change, but you have to work towards creating that empathy relationship with your manager. So again, this is something, if it is a great leader, they will learn quickly, they know what to do. Alright, the third kind of a bad boss is someone who is finger pointing or playing blame games all the time. So this kind of a boss is my least favorite to work for. And this person is someone who will never take accountability or responsibility for something that him or his team has done by mistake, or some mistake that happened. So this kind of a boss is basically when there is a problem and you are looking up to this boss to stand up for you, he or she will be the last one to be there for you. And it is extremely difficult to work for a boss that happens to be this finger pointing or a blame game kind of a person. So God forbid, if there is a big issue, this boss will not, let alone not support you, but they will start pointing fingers at each other instead of focusing what is the real root cause of the problem and what could you do in future to not make this problem happen again. So that is a very great leadership skill that lacks in many managers, and it is not something that comes naturally. They have to learn it, they have to consistently demonstrate it and practice it to get to that level. So this kind of a boss, the way you would handle, so you can step up and be a role model and show to the audience there that when there is a problem, it's not about pointing fingers. Yes, we do have to look at what really caused the problem and really find out who caused the problem and address that. But in that situation, that is not the right time to do it. So you really need to think about if you can step up and be that role model, and people will start seeing that value and they'll come along. So will your boss too. There you have it. So those are the three kinds of scenarios you would run into with difficult bosses. And you have learned about how to identify them, you have learned about how to handle them, and you have learned about how to solve for some of the issues as well. Hopefully you learned something out of this conversation, and I would love to hear from you in the comments below if you anything that you can implement or anything else you want to learn. Thank you. Have a great day. And I will be posting all these wisdom videos for you to have the best career experience, deal with difficult situations, dealing with difficult co-workers, and many more that will help you have a great and fun workplace.